What's up, everybody? Just wanted to quickly react to a video that Robert Kennedy Jr. just put out yesterday. And it's just basically talking about how the DNC is smearing him, comparing him to Trump, which is absolutely true. And it's an absolute garbage move. But let's have a look at this video and then we'll talk about it after, like usual.
You may have read that the DNC has now committed to investing a mountain of money trying to smear me with billboards, trucks, and planted articles. They've called me a spoiler candidate and a stalking horse, which is actually an upgrade from some of the other things they've been calling. This is what happens when you dare to give Americans a choice. The DNC wanted a coronation for President Biden. They never expected our movement to gain the kind of momentum it has. Unfortunately for the DNC, we're not going anywhere. The DNC just hired a team of shady operatives to take down my campaign. One of the leaders of this group is DNC strategist Liz Smith, who made her bones working for the CIA's champion in Congress, Adam Schiff, a man who served the intelligence agency's agenda for years by supporting the Iraq War, the Patriot Act, and who authored legislation targeting minorities. The DNC has lost touch with the values of John F. Kennedy, of Robert Kennedy, and of Franklin Roosevelt. They've abandoned the American middle class. They've become the party of Wall Street, of censorship, of cronyism. They've become, in short, undemocratic. That's why I declared my independence on October 9th. I'm offering a vision of America that includes secure borders, a strong middle class, an end to the chronic disease epidemic, and a future that your kids can be proud of. I look forward to seeing you on the campaign trail. Our events keep growing, and according to a recent NBC poll, 34% of Americans can see themselves voting for me right now.
So that's basically the end of the video. But look at that right there. 34% of Americans would consider voting for Robert Kennedy Jr. Now, I know a lot of people are concerned about his national polling because, he's only around 15%. But keep in mind, a lot of states are not even including him in the polls. Also, keep in mind, most people who don't vote in the past will not take polls. Most independents do not take polls. So his number will likely be much higher than that 15%, probably somewhere between that 20 and 25%, if not a little bit more. I mean, he's really within like a 5 point swing of Biden and Trump. One more like push through, one more strong push or rally or another podcast tour, or people like Rogan and Russell Brand really start to get behind him, and he could get another push enough to win the presidency. I don't know about that, but hey, you got to give the guy credit for trying, and you got to give the guy credit for all the wholesome messages that he has. Went over about what I disagree with Robert Kennedy. Here today, I'm here to talk about the Democratic Party smearing Robert Kennedy, comparing him to Trump, which is ridiculous. They are nothing alike. Nothing. Like, just look at their personalities, how they speak, how they attack issues, how they argue with people. I mean, Trump argues like a 5-year-old. This guy is brilliant. He's professional and he's thoughtful. Big difference between him and Donald Trump. And then the differences between him and Joe Biden. Well, Joe Biden's a corpse and he can't speak. I don't know what drugs they gave him during the State of the Union. They must have gave him something because he actually was able to speak for a little bit, for most of the hour that he was talking. So it was like, oh, wow, that's an interesting change in development. So, there's really nothing that you can compare Joe Biden with Robert Kennedy either. Joe Biden is not brilliant. He is not articulate. He is not a thoughtful person. He does not care about Americans or the middle class. I don't think Trump does either, but this guy does. And I do expect it. Normally, as we get closer to an election, the independence numbers would go down because people get a little bit nervous. Like, okay, it's election time. Biden and Trump are really close. I want Kennedy, but I can't stand Trump, so I'm going to vote Biden. Or I want Kennedy, but if I had to choose between Trump and Biden, which it looks like it's going to be between, I'm going to choose Trump to keep Biden out. Right? It's like a lot of people here are in Canada are afraid to vote for the NDP for that reason because they don't want to divide their liberal vote. So a lot of people are going to be worried about splitting their vote. That being said, there's so many independents now and so many people who don't vote in the past that may just come out and vote and support Robert Kennedy in this upcoming election. Either way, it's going to be really interesting to see. We're already in March. The election is what, 8 months away now? Not even 8 months away. So we're just getting closer and closer and closer, and it's continuing to get interesting with Robert Kennedy. I think a lot of people thought that he would be out of the race right now, but not only is he not out of the race, he's holding strong.